Hey, Thomas with Puddle Jumper Adventures here with my family at Mammoth Cave National Park, World Heritage Site, International Biosphere Reserve. Hopefully have some videos for you guys on our adventure. You guys ready?
Yep. Yes.
All right.
Here we are taking our family picture in front of one of the signs that they had for Mammoth Cave National Park. There were several other signs that we found on our travels to the different trails that we did. We camped out at Mammoth Cave campground there. It was a very nice campground. There was no electric on site, but there was plenty of water, spigots around. Bathrooms were all centrally located. It was very nice and easy to get around. Here we are taking a picture in front of the visitor center sign. Kids are filling out their Junior Ranger badge activity booklet. We highly recommend doing that at all the National Park System sites. We are going through the visitor center trying to fill out all the necessary information in those books that we need. This visitor center was very awesome. It was right on par with some of the more popular attractions that we've been to, like Yellowstone and Glacier and stuff like that. Very interactive. You could crawl through some things, open up things that, had little things that you could touch and all these other things. A lot of interactive displays where you press the button and it would tell you a whole bunch of history about the place, from Native Americans to mining saltpeter and the people that used to own the property before it was National Park. Here we are going to the backside of the visitor center. We wanted to get a picture of the historic entrance, so we went down to the backside of the visitor center and followed the trail that led up to it. Along the way, there's plenty of displays that talk about how the cave gets its air, where water comes from. Here's a picture of the entrance. We decided, since it wasn't time for our tour, that we would go along the Dixon Cave Trail. And here's the Dixon Cave entrance. It collapsed years ago, cutting off access to that portion of the cave. This trail is just about, I think, a half a mile long. Bunch of wildlife scenery, very beautiful views. It leads right back to the visitor center. Here we are taking a quick break with my daughter, trying to figure out where we are on the map. My kids were able to complete all the activities necessary to get their Junior Ranger badges, and they took the oath. So that's one of the programs that we highly recommend at all the national parks. It's fun for the kids, and it's also a very informative way for them to figure out what the site is about and the history behind it. Here we are entering the historic entrance to Mammoth Caves. For this trip, we decided that we were going to do the self-guided tour. It allowed our family the time to kind of explore for ourselves, but yet rangers were still on site. You could ask questions if you wanted to. You get about 3 hours to explore if you want, but I think we did it in about an hour and about 15 minutes. This cave is amazing. It blows your mind how huge this cave actually is. Like, we've been to, Mark Twain Cave and Maquoketa, Iowa caves, and this cave by far is way bigger. I mean, there's over 430 miles of passageways that they've found. Just the main area that we were down in, you could fit several freight trains next to each other and still have room to squeeze by if you wanted to. It's called Mammoth Cave for a reason, and I definitely recommend you sign up for whatever tour you think catches your fancy. But for us, the self-guided tour definitely showed us a lot of really neat sights in this cave. The only thing is I really want to go back and do the Frozen Niagara tour. I wanted to do that one, but it was already booked up by the time we booked the site up. So as you can see, there's plenty of walkway space. Everything's lit up. So you get to see everything. We even got to see a bat on the ceiling. That was a pretty cool experience for us too. Just a few final thoughts here about our tour of Mammoth Caves. If you have kids, this trail was very easy. The self-guided one was. Our 4-year-old does not like doing a lot of walking, let alone any trails. And this was easy enough that she was able to go all the way to the end of the tour, walk all the way back, and she even had a lot of fun. Our 7-year-old had fun. Our 12-year-old had fun. I had fun, and I'm considerably older than they are, so it appeals to all age ranges. For the self-guided tour, it does meet currently in 2025. It meets at the entrance of the cave, so which I thought was kind of cool because you get to kind of walk back there yourself and take your time getting back there. So definitely a fun experience. We talked about we would probably go back again if we had the chance. So while we were here, our family was able to enjoy several different trails to go on. Unfortunately, due to some recent flooding, we weren't able to make it to some of the backcountry side because the ferry that you can take across to get to the backcountry was taken out by the recent flooding. We did get to go on the Sand Cave Trail. It was a very short hike, great for anybody. It was only like a 0.3 mile hike there. Well worth the sights that you get to see. Another trail that we went on was the Cedar Sink Trail. It's the one that has the river that comes up ground briefly before it goes back down. There are a lot of stairs on this trail. It's very, very difficult, especially if you're not in the greatest shape or maybe have some mobility issues. But if you can make it, it is well worth all the effort that you put into getting there. We had a lot of fun. Took some breaks because, like I said, there are a lot of stairs. So
we're on the Cedar Sink Trail, and actually we're on the circular part of it, and there's a sinkhole right over here, but it's where the water comes out of the underground from like a cave system, and we'll briefly be able to see it before it goes back down again. So
here's the actual river where it comes up, and we were just kind of talking about, you know, how wild it is that, you know, all that stuff is just kind of sitting right there, and what happens if it gets clogged and stuff like that. So just a very cool thing to check out. Well worth all the exertion that you're going to go through on this trail. It is well worth it. So in the end, though, Mammoth Caves really kind of was a surprise for us, because I literally told my wife Kim, I was like, you know, let's just go ahead and check it off the list. You know, we'll make a quick trip down there. And, you know, I've seen on, you know, social media where, oh, this is boring, not worth it, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I've seen the MPS staff saying, you know, making kind of jokes about that. And I agree. This should be at the top of one of the sites you visit at the top of your list. The trails were phenomenal. The tours were phenomenal. Even though it is a kind of a smaller park, there was a lot to do there, and we've talked about definitely wanting to go back again. So we do have some more adventures lined up. Hopefully we're going to be sharing some of those videos pretty soon. And until next time.